Alright, it's 5:30, so I'm gonna call this meeting to order. This meeting and all other meetings of this committee are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and been given to the press in accordance with the Wisconsin statutes so that the citizenry may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting. Roll call.
Edwards.
Here.
Gage. Here. Gunderson.
Here.
I am looking for a motion to approve minutes from the regular monthly meeting on January 23rd.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular monthly meetings for January 23rd, 2017.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Does not look like there's any citizens' appearance. Department update.
I don't know if you're gonna, what order you have and stuff in, but the first page, if it went in order of the way I put it downstairs, was the monthly calls for January. 120, that's average to low. The weather has a lot to do with what was going on. There was nothing noteworthy other than our kids that we've been chasing around constantly. They go in, they come out, they violate again. It's just a never-ending cycle. The next page would be the year. There's 2 pages. Tell me if you want me to stop anywhere, but that's the total for the year. Last year, 1,939. That's down 80 complaints. Part of that is because when we go to a complaint, if we have to do follow-up investigation, we open up the original complaint versus starting another complaint, which would be just a follow-up complaint. So we're actually, if we have 40 theft complaints, and I get a lead, or we get a theft complaint and I get a lead, then I have a suspect. When I go back, I open that original complaint up instead of starting another one and duplicating it, so the numbers are higher. So that's a work in progress. Total of 1939. And, so they're just information that, where's the mouse here? Here it is. Of some of the things that we have coming up. The first one you see here is the Attorney General Summit on Public Safety. We've gone to that, somebody's gone that every year for as long as I can remember. This one this year is a great training. Brandon and I are both going to that next month. And then I will be leaving on Sunday for, and might be overkill, but I think it's important that you know where we're going and what we're learning. Wisconsin Police Leadership Foundation, which is starts on Sunday, is where all the chiefs get together and network. There's classes, vendors come in with all the new products that are out there. It's a good training, and you can go through at your leisure and look at the agenda for that. Probably the biggest thing that's going to be happening at that one that everybody waits for is this last one down here on the record. Open records requests has been a hot topic for all law enforcement, plus the Driver's Privacy Protection Act is a real big deal because there's a number of cities that are getting sued for putting parking tickets on cars and putting names and makes and models and whatnot. And then Joe Blow citizen goes by and sees their information. That's changing every year. Every time we go to a training, some new opinion is out on that. And
This one here is the one that's in Rapids.
Dells.
no, the Dells.
Dells in that.
The Dells has the contract for
I read that.
the Police Leadership Foundation and the Attorney General Summit, I think through 2020, because it's the only place in the state that's big enough to hold that many people.
Kalahari holds all that stuff. The national or the
Kalahari
state
does.
safety thing I'll be going to in April is always there too.
It's just convenient because it's right there and
Yeah.
you're in the building and the weather's not a factor. And, one of the other Attorney General Summits is at the Chula Vistas, but that's a whole separate deal. Why the truancy ordinance isn't there, I have no idea.
I was going to ask you about that. I was curious
Must
where
have
that came in.
just got slipped in. Justin and Lydia are going to A-RIDE, which is Advanced Roadside Impairment. It's a great class. I went through it 100 years ago. I think, Brandon, you went through A-RIDE? Or did you go Rush?
Rush.
It's to detect advanced forms of impairment, certain drugs, prescription medicine, things like that. Fortunately for us, they found a class just up in Shawano County, so it's close, it's cheap, and it works out, so they'll be doing that, and that was their information. And then I just put in here to show you, this isn't everything where it goes, like, look at mine here. The training for our calendar year is June 30th through July 1st. It's not January to January. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do. So every time somebody goes to a qualified training, when they come back, unless it's a state sanctioned or at a tech school, they bring in the information that they went to the class. I enter it into the system, which is called ACADIS in Madison, and then prints it out. And there's probably a number of trainings that Brandon and I have gone to. I can think of a couple right offhand that don't go into ACADIS, but the qualifying ones that the state would throw us, would not recertify us, have to go into ACADIS, and that's your firearms, legal updates, and firearms qualification and vehicle pursuit. And that's just a list of what everybody did last year. It's a little different for each person, and some of the county guys have, try and find one here. Our part-timers that work for the sheriff's department have, like Curtis here. He has come and shot with us, but he's not a primary with our department, so I don't have to worry about his training for all the ones that you have to be certified in, which would be the handgun and vehicle pursuit EVOC. He gets that through his employer. And the last thing, Nick, I remember was probably December's meeting, the course that I'm taking.
Yep. This
is the letter I got, and it explains all what's all involved in it. And you can read that when you want. It's not particularly exciting. And then that's it. We don't have anything noteworthy to speak of with equipment or staff. And if you have any questions, I'll let Pat talk about ambulances.
Okay. Discussion and possible action on Gold Cross contract / trip.
So we have that notice there, the Gold Cross contract. Gold Cross sent out a clean copy for Jack to execute. It's the same contract that you just approved though in 2016, so you don't have to act on it at all. It's not a new contract, it's just a new document to sign so that they get all the towns and everybody to sign one. But what is out there to be acted on is the tax return intercept program. And what Gold Cross is looking to do is to get all the communities to sign off on approving the trip agreement. What this does is it allows them, before they have to go out to collections, try to collect on these bills for service. It's one step in between where they can intercept income tax refunds, or at least they get a lien on income taxes. I think for maybe 15 years now, municipal courts have been able to do this. So if you don't pay your fines, they're able to sort of garnish your income tax refund, or at least make sure that you don't get a refund, that the cash goes to the court. Or in this case, what we're looking at then is for Gold Cross to be able to utilize that to pay off ambulance bills. What they do need though is they need the city council to vote to approve the trip agreement. In here, the letter that came to us talks about Act 59, which had passed the state that allows them to do this. Also talks about, here's the agreement, and it talks about a third-party provider, so they actually work through AmeriCollect. And so this is who, if we authorize Gold Cross to utilize it, we're authorizing Gold Cross to then use their collections company to utilize this. So, any questions on approving that or allowing that? It's really nothing for us other than the fact that the rescue service is a service of the city. It's just that Gold Cross contracts with us. For them to be able to utilize this on our behalf, we just need to sign off on it.
So we're gonna make a recommendation for council then?
Yeah, and what I would hope for is a recommendation to approve the tax return intercept program agreement with Gold Cross.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Gold Cross trip agreement.
Okay.
I'll second
Okay, we got a motion and a second, all in favor, aye,
All
it.
right?
Aye.
opposed? Okay. Next, discussion and possible action on city share of new fireworks truck.
So, two of you will be aware from the fire district meeting, that the fire district had purchased a new fire truck. The city's share, technically comes out to about $154,545.53. After, the fire department of the fire district used some funds on hand to help cut that cost down. Our share is 37.71% of the cost. If we wait until delivery, which is estimated to be 12, 13 months from now, our share would be $154,000. If you prepay up front, I think Pierce allows for something like a 4.5% discount. It's
Something
a
like that.
discount if you pay up front. If we would pay up front, we'd be able to save $7,500. I think that's a very good idea to do that. But on the other hand, I think a couple of you have talked to about the sewer debt defeasance that we have coming up. We're working with Agri-Peer to use some cash on hand to be able to pay off our sewer debt. And within 7 to 10 days, and maybe even the day that we pay and use funds on hand, Agri-Peer will reimburse us. So right now, I think we should make a recommendation. This is the first meeting, so. So we should make a recommendation to decide whether to pay up front or not. I think what I would feel comfortable with is if this committee voted to recommend that we pay up front. When it goes to council, if I see any issues with funds on hand, I will let you know by the council meeting. But I think it makes sense to be able to save $7,500. I think that's a good thing to pursue. If something would, I guess I don't want to put any negative thoughts out there, but one of the things we're looking at right now is how much money we should hold on hand in case of emergency. And knock on wood, nothing probably will happen until I just said that now. But after we do the sewer debt defeasance, we'll be looking at about $1.2 million in cash that we'll still have on hand. So to be able to spend $146,000 out of that shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
But if we get a clearer picture next week about how this defeasance is going and when we can expect the money from Agri-Peer, we'll have a better idea on it. But for right now, I guess I would ask that you recommend paying up front because it's worth the $7,500 that we can save on the truck.
I'll make a motion to recommend paying up front to save the $7,500 on the truck.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. That's it. Now set March meeting date and time.
I think you've been looking for close to 5:30, I think was kind of the comment last month, on a Tuesday. If we're looking at that first Tuesday, where's my calendar, just bombed out of me here.
Yeah, March
March
7th.
7th at 5:30?
That works for me. Does
That's
that work?
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
When you put that motion in on the fire truck, are you gonna put down the dollar amount of
46.
$146,964?
that number we'll put on. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
I think we talked about this, you and I, about maybe putting money away for incidents like this again.
Yeah, we have
You know?
some money set aside. Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure. And
Or this came up awfully quick.
mhm.
Well,
and we could plan for it in the future.
I was talking to the fire chief about that too, and about the department doing it that way. When we authorize a truck at the district level, they basically go out and buy it, because by putting it away every year, the city itself has approved it. And since you have 2 to 3 members sitting on there, it would just expedite things. So that's something Tom and I have been talking about.
Oh, okay.
How many trucks do they currently keep? Do you know, Brandon?
Total,
Yeah.
7.
Some vehicles, right?
7 vehicles, yeah.
Yeah, 7.
Good thing there wasn't 3 more.
I was just curious, like, how often
Hey, you can count.
this subject comes up of getting a new one, you know, like what the average is that.
Our engines are replaced on a 30-year rotation.
Right.
I don't
This
know
one
what-
here was 20 years, wasn't it?
No,
I thought it was 89 when you got this one.
it's a 30-year, every 10 years they replace another engine.
Okay,
Right.
But the
3
difference,
engines.
we
there's
keep,
3
on a
engines that are,
30-year
okay,
rotation.
gotcha, okay.
yeah,
Just cause, yeah, if we're looking at carrying out that thought of putting money aside, just breaking it back to what we need to do here then.
Yeah, and it's trucks, it's also equipment, because
Sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
the other potential grant that's out there might, whether we get that grant for the air, right, or for the masks.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
If we get a grant for it, if we don't get a grant for it, then the communities, I think, are looking at having to pay for that too, for that equipment. It's like about 160 grand
160 grand.
total would be split, I think.
Well, safety stuff like that. you
But
see
setting
pretty
aside
easy
money for-
grants for, ain't it? It's the safety, and
Usually.
things a little easier.
There's only so much grant money though,
Yeah.
Right.
and so many people looking to get it. But
Other matters is authorized by law, I guess we're kind of doing that, alright? Then if nobody opposes, I will make a motion to adjourn,
Second.
okay? All in favor? Aye,
Aye.
opposed? Well, we are
548.